Hello, and welcome to My Perfect Read, brought to you by your Fairfax County Public Library. Have you ever thought, I'd love to pick out a new book to read, but there are so many I don't even know where to start? Well, we're here and happy to help. Reader's Advisors can be found in all of our branches or our website via My Perfect Read, our new personalized online service where you can meet our librarians and check out their recommendations on books and authors that they love and think you'll enjoy too. In today's show, we'd like to share with you some of the books we recommend for promoting early literacy skills. Early literacy is what children know about communication, language, reading, and writing before they actually read and write. Research shows that children get ready to read years before they start school. I have with me Kelly Gilbert from Chantilly Regional Library and Sunny Carrito from Pohick Regional Library to share their book recommendations with you. Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Kelly, share with me one of the titles you brought with you today.
Okay, I brought Grumpy Monkey by Suzanne Lang and illustrated by Max Lang. The monkey in this book is named Chimpanzee, which I think is pretty great anyway, but he's having a very bad day. He doesn't know why, but he's having a bad day. And all of the animals in the animal kingdom are doing their very best to show him how they feel better. And my favorite page is, finally Jim looked happy, but he didn't feel happy inside.
Aww.
And so they go through the book, and eventually Jim realizes, you know what? It's okay to be a little sad and grumpy today. And so it kind of gives kids permission to feel their feelings. A lot of the time we tell kids, oh, stop crying and stop running and stop doing this. And this is, no, it's okay. You can feel this way. So I thought this was a good one for both entertainment and for emotional literacy.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks for sharing. Sunny, what's on your list for parents and caregivers to check out with their children?
I brought Twinkle Twinkle Little Star by Jane Cabrera. One of the really important early literacy tools that we have is actually singing. And Jane Cabrera has a whole bunch of books that take familiar songs that you know really well, uses the first verse, and then goes off with all kinds of really fun directions. She's got a great safari version of Wheels on the Bus. For this Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it's all different parents and children, animals all over the world, and you get to hear all different words for twinkle, like shimmer and sparkle and flicker. Which really helps kids to expand how they think about one concept.
Yeah, it's great for their vocabulary to hear those new words introduced. Now, I brought with me today Wordy Birdie by Tammy Sauer, and I'm sure lots of parents have this problem where their little one just loves to chat and chat and chat. Well, Wordy Birdie loves to talk and talk and talk, and the book has these wonderful speech bubbles that parents can point out to the children so that they can have some print awareness. They know that these words have meaning and they're coming from Wordy Birdie. And his wordiness gets him in trouble because he doesn't pay attention to the warnings from all of his friends or the signs that are right in front of him. And he meets with some danger.
Oh no.
And his friends are just, oh my goodness, Wordy Birdie, we tried to warn you, but do you think they would leave poor Wordy Birdie behind? Of course not, they wouldn't. So this one's a great lesson for kids about, you know, listening skills and friendship and not leaving your friends behind and always watching out for them.
Aww.
Kelly, what do you have?
I have another book that I don't know a lot of parents know about this illustrator, but she's one of my very favorites. I have a lot of her art at my house. But her name's Phoebe Wall, and this is her newest book. She also has another one called Sonia's Chickens, but this one's called Backyard Fairies. So a lot of kids love fairies. I'm a big kid and I love fairies. And this book is kind of a fun little journey about a little girl. It actually could actually teach a little bit of inference and things like that, because the story happens down here, but then you notice she doesn't see any fairies, but the children can be like, wait, there's one in the tree, or oh, they're over there by the mushrooms. My daughter really likes trying to find all the different fairies and things, so it's a good conversation book and it's a good imagination book, and it's also just full of really delightful illustrations. So Phoebe Wall's Backyard Fairies, and also her Sonia's Chickens is another good book, but this one's probably my favorite.
Sunny, you've brought a unique book with you. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. A lot of times when people think of early literacy, they don't necessarily think of something that doesn't have any words, but that's what I brought today, is Flora and the Flamingo by Molly Idle. And This is a really beautifully drawn book, has wonderful emotions that you can talk to your child about. Really engaging with books with your child is one of the most important things you can do for them. And it's just a lot of fun. It has wonderful flaps that have a lot of movement and motion. Molly Idle is actually an animator, so you can really sort of see that when you're reading her books. And if you like this one, there's all kinds of adventures that Flora has with penguins, peacocks, lots of different other animals. So I really recommend all of the Flora books by Molly Idle.
Wow, I did not realize that she was, you know, into animation. That is amazing. I do love interactive books. It's one of my favorite things, and Duck's Vacation is one of my favorites right now. So it really gets the kids to engage with the book and being aware of how the book works. So as you turn each page, you start off and Duck is enjoying his wonderful vacation, and you turn the page and he says, "Whoa, what's happening? Who just turned the page?" So the kids get really engaged with this adventure because they're actually causing something to happen in the story. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, and on the heels of that, I brought another interactive book that I like by the wonderful author Mac Barnett.
Oh, I love him.
He's written many, many books and has collaborated with many illustrators. This one is an interactive one. It's Count the Monkeys. One king cobra has scared off all the monkeys. Turn the page very slowly, very carefully, so he doesn't notice it. And it builds kind of the tension, and you turn the page, and each time he gives you different things about how to find the monkeys and what's after the monkeys. And it's just a really fun and silly book. And it's good if you're a teacher and have to read to a class. It's a fun book. But Mac Barnett, as an author, just writes really fun stories, and he's a great speaker.
Well, do we ever find the monkeys?
I don't know, you'll have to read it.
Sunny, what else do you have with us?
I've also got a newer book that recently came out called The Perfect Siesta, which is actually a translated book from Brazilian by Pat Manna. And it has beautiful animals from the rainforest in Brazil. This is a coati. It's about a leopard who decides it's the perfect time to take a nap and asks the coati to wake him up in 10 minutes. Coati realizes it is a great time to take a nap, and it just keeps going, animal after animal, until finally the cockatiel tells the sloth to wake them up in 10 minutes, which of course is a bit tough. It has some great counting parts. It has a lot of repetition, which kids always really like too, and it's got a great fun ending too. So I really recommend it.
Wow, those illustrations are amazing.
They really are.
Oh my goodness. So, for the book lovers out there who just cannot get enough of books, I have the Snatch a Book. And this is the story of these critters down in the burrow. And as they're getting ready for bed, all of their books start disappearing. Oh, no. And one brave bunny tries to figure out who's taking all of the books. And I adore the illustrations. And it's a rhyming book, which is really good for phonological awareness because it's breaking down those words into smaller parts. And it is just adorably sweet and lots of fun and surprising. So, Kelly, what else do you have?
Another one. If you haven't guessed, I like quirky, silly books. And Mother Bruce is one of my very favorites.
That's a great one.
There's some other books, if you liked this one, there's some others in the series, I guess. And it kind of has a spin-off with some mice too, which is really fun. But this is the original, the beginning, and it's by Ryan T. Higgins. Bruce just wants to be alone, and he enjoys being alone. He's a grump. Kind of like Grumpy Monkey, they would be friends. He doesn't like cute animals, he doesn't like rain, he doesn't like sunny days, he doesn't like anything. Well, he gets some eggs for breakfast, but instead of them boiling, they hatch.
Oh no.
And the ducklings in what's supposed to be his breakfast think they're his mom. And it's just super silly. And Bruce does not want to be their mom, and he gets really mad that they take over his life and they just make him miserable. But then they grow up and they fly south for the winter, and he might make a decision about following them because he realizes they've kind of grown on him. And so it's just it's another fun book. You can count the ducks on it. It's kind of fun to count all the little ducks. It's just a good conversational fun book. And I love Bruce. I kind of relate to him sometimes.
And I think the parents will get a kick out of that one as well, because I love the angsty teenage geese.
Yes.
They are a riot. So parents, you're really going to love this one as well.
And as I mentioned too, the story continues in a few others as well. And so it's a really fun little world that he's created. So.
Okay, great. What else do you have, Sunny?
Yeah, there's one here.
All right, let's see here. What else do I have? I consider this kind of a
I love that
classic. Bark George by Jules Pfeiffer. And anything with animals is a surefire hit with kids. George is an adorable dog, and he goes to the vet because he does not bark. He lets out all kinds of different sounds. So to find out, what's wrong with George, will he get his bark? Check out Bark George. Kids are going to love it.
They are.
Well, so I think we have to wrap up now. But thanks for joining us in this edition of My Perfect Read. If you're interested in learning more about our resources, programs, and books for everyone, make sure to visit your nearest Fairfax County Public Library or check out My Perfect Read online at research.fairfaxcounty.gov/myperfectread.